I bet. All right, salute the motherfucking Nerd Rap podcast. And I got one of the homies who's on the Discord, man. I've been talking to him on TikTok for a few years, man. Another comic book nerd, and he come from up
Yes,
top.
sir.
So, man, introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, man.
It's Nicky Wu out here. You resident kid from Brooklyn, all around comic book nerd, anime nerd. Oh, shit started.
Nah, Saint Nicholas the dead ass. That's what we call dog now.
Thanks, man. That's just me. I like to be real with people. I like to be very straightforward in my delivery, and I don't like people having second guesses about the things that I try to express.
Right.
So that's my whole demeanor about approaching a whole lot of like comic type of discourse and all that. I want people to be knowledgeable.
Right.
You feel me?
Right, man. And I noticed too, because you come from the era I came from, where like even if you couldn't like buy these books, you may go to Books a Million. You may read the
Mm-hmm.
runs. They told you the legendary runs. For Marvel, they
Yes,
said
sir.
Secret War, Civil War. What's the thing where the Annihilus wave in the Marvel
Mm-hmm.
universe? Like anything they said was like that story. You had to read that quintessential run. We would run to our comic book stores to try to read it, to try to like actually be engaged with it.
Yes,
These
sir. Yes,
days,
sir.
with fans now, and I'm gonna just ask your opinion on this. Gonna hurt someone else. You have
Yeah.
people who LARP as fans of characters. Like they,
Yeah.
and I want to get your opinion on that. Before I get going to a diatribe, but like, how do you feel
Yeah.
about? And I'm not a gatekeeper. I feel like there's a balance to that. I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with someone being like new to comic books and being a fan and just saying I'm a fan because I'm a fan.
Absolutely. That's
Nothing
how you
wrong with the
keep the
casual.
industry alive.
Right. But I do feel there is, especially in like the internet and TikTok in particular, where there's people
Mm-hmm.
who pretend to be comic book fans and you could
Yes.
tell by the takes they have. Like they're very
Yes.
like you read two books by an author who probably never touched the
Mm-hmm.
series before, and
It's
that's
like
your
they stopped
interpretation.
at a certain point and they just give their fan fiction on it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly. Like they bullshit
Like,
their way past not knowing certain
yeah,
things.
yeah.
So good. What's your thoughts on that? And do you feel that gets in the way of like genuine comic discourse?
So my feelings on that is basically I feel like it does get in the way of general comic discourse. I love talking to people and bringing new people in to read comics. I think that, like I said, it keeps the industry going. I've been loving these things since I was a kid. My older brother got me into it. My uncle got me into it.
Right.
Like these stories, as I grew up, I realized while they're technically marketed towards kids, they have very adult themes, like situations and lessons and things like that. So it's meant as a device to teach our younger kids
Yeah.
morality. That this is our modern mythology.
Yeah.
And since TikTok has blown up the way it has, and a lot of people capitalized on the time on TikTok, especially during the pandemic, I think that there are people who see the attention, who see the notoriety that comes with it, and they're explosive about every single thing. They don't necessarily have an opinion. They don't have a thought either way on the subject. They're just explosive and argumentative to create content.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I got into a conversation with somebody the other day. You know King Lion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got into a conversation because he was like, "Oh well, I'm happy I got blocked by King Lion." That guy, a lot of what people say about him, and he's like one of the more forefront people in the comic community.
Right.
He does a lot for the comic community. He donates a lot. He does a lot for like
He does a
kids and
lot.
all that.
Yeah.
And people get stuck on his aggressiveness. And it's weird because a lot of times I hear people complain about his approach to it, but they never say that this man's wrong. And that goes to show that like a lot of people come into the game, they haven't read comics. They
Hmm.
haven't watched all of the movies. They haven't played the games. You have a very base level, and that's fine.
Like
There's
you watch
different levels of fandom.
like you watched the movie or two, you saw an episode of a cartoon, you know what I mean, and you
Facts.
liked it,
Yeah,
and hey, you like Batman, but
it's
you
cool.
and I feel like I
You're
feel you
being
on the
mad loud in the space.
yeah, for you to be as loud, and so because since you brought a King Lion thing, he's a good point because like I generally think
Hmm.
he know. You could tell he knows his shit. Like I used to have an
Yeah.
encyclopedia of Marvel shit. So
Oh,
when he quote,
absolutely.
so when I hear him quote certain things, even when he talks shit about Batman, I'm a Batman fan. But nothing he says about Batman as a
It's
fan,
wrong.
no, it's not wrong, right? Now is it or
Yeah.
is he dragging it to be like whatever?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, as a fan, can I deny the fact that Bruce Wayne is functionally he's not his method is flawed at its base. Of course
Hmm.
it is. But as a fan, that's why I like him. I like the fact
Yeah.
that he's flawed. I like but a lot of these guys aren't fans as they're not fans of the medium. They're fans of a particular character and that property. Like when
Yeah.
we was
It's like
growing
the
up,
idea.
right. Like when we was growing up, half the time we would read a bunch of comic books because your mama would just bring some shit home and it's just comic books. So we end up discovering new characters on accident. Like
Yes.
I didn't know what the fucking Image comic books was, but my mother brought
No.
home a big ass volume of Wildcats one day, and I'm just like, who are these niggas? This ain't Batman or Superman. All right, I guess I'm.
Facts.
And so I'm not mad at the casual who like I'm not mad at someone who has a take I don't agree with because I can still tell
Hmm.
you read enough comic books to come to that conclusion. Like if
Yeah.
I say um Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man after Mary Jane and him and Mary Jane's marriage was ended, I felt like Spider-Man has been written like shit. Outside of
Yeah.
Superior Spider-Man, outside of I think Chip Zdarsky did some good Spider-Man. I'll give him
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
He put in
People
pain for
give Dan
Spider-Man.
Slott a lot of slack.
Yeah,
But what he
Dan
did with
Slott too.
Superior Spider-Man
Yeah, yeah,
changed the game.
we not gonna do that was some of the best Spider-Man writing in
I
2 years.
remember, yeah, I remember when I collected the entire Age of Ultron series as it was
Mm,
coming out. And I remember the Spider-Man tie-ins. And it was Superior Spider-Man in that place. And the way you saw how different the personality between Peter and Ock was, the way they go about handling the problems. It was it
it
was a
was
new character.
it was dope, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, man.
And this is how I felt about because I felt this way about Batman. Like I be saying this all the time. I truly feel like the mantle of Batman should have kept changing from his different Batman family members. Like
Oh yeah.
I I felt like
I
after
think everybody should have gotten a chance.
it's like Dick
Yeah.
Grayson, like a lot of like because Scott Snyder, when a lot of these ideas he has for Batman he's doing now, he originally was doing this for Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
So some of these stories, like when it's like, damn, we're tired of Batman, some of these were meant for Dick. Like the Court of Owls was meant for Dick Grayson.
Hmm. Yes, it
Like
was.
it was meant for his Batman, and it makes me angry
Yep.
because it's like this would have been so dope with Dick Grayson discovering this. With Dick Grayson, like
Hmm.
even when he fights Deathstroke, this was Dick Grayson's main bad guy. This wasn't a
Facts.
dude that Batman fucked with. This was the Teen Titans' main enemy. Dick Grayson became a man fighting Deathstroke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And mind you, Batman never beat him in single combat. Dick
Never.
Grayson was the first person who beat him in single combat.
And that's something I think a lot of people don't realize is that when you talk about Batman, as much trauma as he's inflicted on those kids or allowed them to be exposed to, they became better fighters.
They're all
They
better than
became better
him.
crime fighters, better than him. And it's like you look at it and he treats they're his kids. And when you look at it, that's what you want for your kids to be a better version than what you were, a
Like
more proficient version than what you were. So you got all of the Bat family, Cassandra Cain, one of
better
the top
fighter.
martial artists in the universe. Jason Todd, same. Nightwing, same. Like who's meeting them? Bronze Tiger,
You got
Lady
pull.
Shiva.
Yeah, you got to pull like the top David Kanes and or Draken. Like you got to pull these
Yes,
guys out the woodworks that'll just drag one of the Bat family.
yes, and even then, that's in single combat. Watch Jason Todd and Nightwing back to back throwing down. It's done.
It and they were all like that's why I like the DCKO event when they're showing the different versions of Batman because
Hmm.
they emphasize they put the hands on Bruce.
Oh,
Like they're
absolutely.
better Batman than they are better Batman than you. In one way or
Yeah.
another, they are your sons. Like you raised them to
Hmm.
be better than you. And I just it's a Spider-Man conundrum. It's like DC wants to keep the status quo when like our generation was the ones that we really did want to see them get older. Like I
Yeah.
did want to see Dick Grayson really have a like him and Damon Wayne was a very entertaining combo as Batman and Robin.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
I really did enjoy that. Damon Wayne was annoying as fuck before he got with Dick Grayson. That shit really made us like him
Hmm.
with Dick Grayson.
He was insufferable. I couldn't stand him. But like once you got that like duality between him and Dick, like the two sons of Batman, like the one that's like the pinnacle and the one that's like so far on the other end,
Hmm.
like it made magic. Like at the end of the day, you see the progression, and like you said, how we get with Spider-Man, they get so focused on Peter Parker. They get so focused on Bruce Wayne. Like I'm back in I reference this comic all the time when anyone has a debate on the MCU and like the Infinity Saga,
Yeah.
Spider-Man should have never gotten dusted. There's a specific issue of Spectacular Spider-Man where it's Ben Riley as Spider-Man, Peter Parker's in Seattle trying to have a baby with Mary Jane. And it showed an actual progression for the character.
Mm.
When they started in comics with Parker Industries, that was a progression.
Yeah.
When you see how Parker can eventually turns into Alchemax, that is a progression. That's the type of lead on that we've been waiting for years. And then what happens? They literally keep dialing us back, dialing us back.
And and I want to say that too, because that I want to pivot that into the main topic, but like that's
Hmm.
how I felt with comic books, even with X-Men. The age of Krakoa was we've been waiting for the age of Krakoa since the
Since
90s,
the fall
dog.
of Genosha,
Since the fall of Genosha, but we were
they
waiting for
tried it with
them.
Utopia. They tried it with Utopia. They got dog walked left and right. They got to Krakoa and things were going the way it should.
The stories were fire. It felt like Game of Thrones with mutants, dog.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like Marvel got scared because they felt like this is because the X-Men will become its own thing at a point when they don't need the other Marvel
Hmm.
characters because they never did. Like, the Avengers became popular, and I felt like Marvel didn't know how to deal with the X-Men without keeping them familiar. The
Oh,
mutants are
absolutely.
hunted by humans. They didn't know how to deal with a mutant society that's just like acting like a sovereign nation. They didn't know how to deal with a
Hmm.
Wolverine Wolverine is a field commander now. Wolverine is
Yeah,
a leading figure of fighting for mutant kind. Like he's at the round table now. Like he's talking amongst
absolutely.
Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister are sitting
Well,
at the
which
same
is
table
wild to see Apocalypse at a table.
with Magneto. Like all mutants are like it's mutants or nothing. They didn't know how to deal with that. They did not
I
know what to
think
do with that.
I think in all honesty, they were a bit scared of that. I think they were a bit scared of that because once you go to a certain point, now, especially during the Judgment storyline where the Celestial came down and was judging the entire planet,
Yeah,
when they revived Captain America, that reminded people where Cap stands. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're at odds with the rest of the Avengers. But when it comes to Cap and Spider-Man, they understand Cap's problem was the fact that Xavier was creating child soldiers,
yeah.
not that they were fighting for their rights.
I mean,
And
because
once you,
um not to cut you off, because like me and my
Yeah, yeah,
sister used
go
to talk
ahead.
about this. They missed the fact that Charles Xavier legitimately back in the day was in, like he used to pretend he was dead just to traumatize these kids.
Yeah,
He at one point slick had infatuation with Jean Grey. He was problematic as hell. So
but
like
yo, that man deserves to be put in that wheelchair. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he deserved that wheelchair. Like
like
if he was able to walk around the whole time, man was a menace.
but that, and I think comic books acknowledging that, because I think I was having a back and forth with like somebody about X-Men. I'm like, yo, I'm not mad at like, oh, they always try to make our people be flawed. Charles Xavier was always flawed. That
Always,
was always there. The issue is,
always.
y'all, I feel like fans, and again, this is back to like LARPing as a fan, because you weren't reading X-Men, Chris Claremont
Hmm.
or John Burns or these eras of X-Men. So you don't know that all these seeds were there. He was pretending to
Oh
be
yeah,
dead. He was raising them as child soldiers. Like, let's just be honest.
yeah.
They were
The
15,
multiple
16.
teams, the multiple teams that didn't know about each other, and how he would erase siblings that Scott had out of his mind.
Like his older brother was erased from his mind. That's
Yep,
abusive. Like this man is problematic. So, and I'm not,
absolutely.
and I
It's
feel
like
I,
Batman in the wrong direction. This
and
man was just ruining lives for fun.
you're just ruining lives for fun. And then so now when the later stories write it to where Cyclops now him and Magneto stand next to each other. Now him
Oh yeah.
and him and Magneto are homies. Now him and Magneto and Storm are like ride or die homies. She went to
Hmm.
hell to bring him back to life recently. Like
Yep.
these people, like it makes, I don't know if Marvel was too scared to deal with a unified mutant population, because there's some of those powerful mutants in the Marvel universe too.
Oh, absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
mean,
The main team of X-Men can wash
most Avengers, but I mean half the
most
Avengers
Avengers.
are X-Men.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I think that they like I said, I don't think they went far enough, and I think they knew the direction that they could go. Because at a certain point, yeah, they were fighting Orcus during the Age of Krakoa.
Mhm.
Cool. At a certain point, you needed to go geopolitical. You feel me?
At a
The
certain
United
point,
States, the United States was going to have a problem with them. Israel was going to have a problem with them. Europe was going to have a problem with them. The only country on the planet that did not beef with them was Wakanda.
yeah, that was the
And
only
mind
plan.
you, people forget Wakanda has been back in the mutants from the very jump. Wakanda has been influencing things in the Marvel universe
Very
for
jump.
decades.
There was only two places that the mutants were safe: the Savage Lands, and Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that those were the only two somewhat havens before Krakoa came. And I felt like they didn't give Krakoa enough time. If y'all gonna reset it to
No,
where it's gonna be, it needed to be a new generation of mutants, not the original mutants we had.
absolutely. I
And
think I think they should have gone a route where the mutants became the world power completely the way they should have been. They should have gotten to that height, and if you're gonna bring them down, it had to be catastrophic.
like House of M, but in a more sense of they're just a world superpower.
Yeah.
So the Avengers and the X-Men probably are coming to blows a lot more now, because they're
Mm-hmm.
the only thing of equal power that can meet the X-Men in a full-blown.
Absolutely. And the conversations needed to be had with Tony as to why doesn't he step in when it comes to them building Sentinels? Why doesn't Reed Richards step in when it comes to them being hunted?
All
You
these
got all this
superheroes,
time to traverse the multiverse, but you can't help out people being actually persecuted in your own timeline.
they didn't want to take it to those natural levels with the Marvel universe
Mm-hmm.
where it had to go with mutants. And I feel that's why they keep doing this thing where they go back and forth and back and forth, where like they'll
Yeah,
get progression, then they rile them back.
it
And
was going to become too meta,
yeah,
and that's what
it's
that's a lot of times that's what they're afraid of. But at the end of the day, the people who read these comics are not the people who don't like these comics. You feel me?
Like all that anti-woke shit I hear in comic books that like bothers me because like it's for motherfuckers who don't read it. Like I remember
Yeah.
I was talking with my homie, they was like, yo, they made Robin gay when they talk about Tim Drake. Now, I remember old Teen Titans growing up. I remember the original lineup. It had Wonder Girl, it had
Hmm.
Beast Boy, Cyborg, Tim Drake, Robin, the whole nine. Tim Drake, we always thought he was in love with Superboy.
Oh,
I remember
absolutely.
I remember when he kissed a girl and the girl looked at him and was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you like girls." That was always the joke with Tim Drake. So when
Yeah.
they came out with it, it's like these are characters that, not to be funny, kind of
We
always
knew.
thought that. Yeah, it's like it's kind
It's
of
like your cousin that comes out like, nah, we knew. We were just waiting for you.
like I'll be like, y'all don't read, and then I'm like, bro, y'all read Teen Titans and you're homophobic. Half of them were
It don't
gay.
make sense. It don't make sense. Like
Yeah,
Wolverine. Wolverine's been very ambiguous with his sexuality for years.
no, they want to go to Cocoa with like you find out that him and Cyclops and Jean used to do some weird shit. You know what I mean?
They
But
they they had a whole thruple going on, like,
they had some shit going on. But
and I
and
think I think that's another thing that they were scared of is that okay, these mutants are squashing their differences.
remember Cyclops and
The most
Wolverine
powerful people on the planet. The only person that like rivals the mutants are Hulk and Thor.
like gods.
Like, yeah, like literally gods are the only people that could rival the mutants. We
Like
got
that.
storm terraforming planets.
Yeah, like I saw somebody, one of the homies argued that like Storm is stronger than Thor, and I'm like, bro, I'm not even gonna hold you all feats in terms of her, you know what I mean, controlling. She can control cosmic storms now. She done got a
Yeah,
magical amp. I can't argue that she can. She's a beyond Omega level mutant, the same as Magneto. Both of them have
absolutely.
the raw power where they can deal with most threats that come their
Hmm.
way. Like Magneto and Storm, I mean, granted they died, but they did fight in
Yeah,
Eternal. Like
yeah.
they were going to war with Eternals. I thought that was actually fire. The X-Men going to war with the
Oh,
Eternals.
absolutely.
I thought that was fire.
Absolutely. Because I thought that concept was dope on how, like, the reason why we got the X gene was because of that experimentation with the Eternals and the Deviants.
Hmm.
Like, that's a great storyline in itself.
And they were basically treating them like the mutants are the ones that are like the abnormality, have to be wiped out, and they're going to war with each other. But the X-Men are holding their goddamn own against Eternals.
Hmm.
Like they are legitimately waging a legitimate full counter offensive against
Yeah.
godlike beings. So I'm
Magneto had a whole hole ripped in his chest.
and still brought a mad Eternal down.
That's insane to me. That's insane. And what's wild is that they know of the Age of Apocalypse. So like that happening right there, like Apocalypse should have been like, no, no, I get it.
And it's so many different mutants that were enemies that are now full scale allies. And I just think that like it's the same
Hmm.
thing with DC. Like DC doesn't know what to do with Batman or Superman, or at a point where like you have to take these characters to the natural conclusions. Like now
Yeah.
DC taking risks. Now they're making Superboy Prime the main Superman.
You want to know what? I thought it was real interesting how when I think this was after Metal, where everyone thought that Bruce and Clark were dead, right?
Hmm.
And then the Dick Grayson and the Titans stepped up to lead the Justice League. Batman's always said, "I'm training you to lead the league. I don't want you to be me."
Yeah, during that absolute power event. Yeah, like Dick
Hmm.
Grayson he was leading the troops.
Like that's the natural progression of things, and like eventually, by all means, you're gonna have to reboot things. That's just the way it's gonna go.
Yeah. You
But
know,
at the
sorry.
same time, like let's get up there.
But even with rebooting, I'm like the absolute universe shows same thing with the ultimate universe. There's nothing wrong with something where like, hey, we can make an alternate universe where how about like Marvel had something called M2 where they had
Yeah.
Mayday Parker and they had the Avengers too. Like it was like a conclusion. Like Spider-Man had a daughter, or
Hmm.
Daredevil, Xanatos, and Ghost Rider became the Dark Devil. and Green Goblin had a kid, and Venom had a kid, and there was a second Iron Man
Yeah,
after Iron Man. All of them had successors or analogs that came after them. And I'm like, we can do a good universe like that. It's just they keep giving up on them. Marvel just gave up on their Ultimate run. So
yeah.
they gave up on their Ultimate run. So all these runs are
They just gave up on the whole 2099 universe and replace it with 3099. Like,
it's some shit we weren't asking for, and it's like the shit that's popular.
hmm
2099 was popular as hell. 2099
he
is
was my
popular as shit.
favorite. Him and Ben Riley were my favorite Spider-Man growing up.
Yeah, man, I love Ben Riley's suit, man. Both of them. I love the hoodie.
Bro,
That shit was
that's
hardcore,
a
boy.
fit. That shit is a fit, bro.
That shit was hardcore. But I remember that was in the first Spider-Man game. It was an alternate suit. I remember reading the
Yeah.
clone. And I know people hate the Clone Saga now, but that was my first
Clone
time seeing
Saga was
Clone
Clone
Saga
Saga
had some
was dope
shit.
back in the day.
Yeah, man. To me, as a kid back in the day, when Carnage and the Doppelganger and all these characters
Hell
Spider-Man had,
yeah.
Spider-Man was the coolest shit when I was a kid, man. But
Hell yeah.
I feel that way with Batman too. Like there was so many characters. There was Onyx, Orpheus, Cassandra Cain. You
hmm
had you had these cool villains. Like I remember Black Mask was the main guy in Cataclysm and War Games, and but now everything's just a
Yeah.
Joker fest. Everything's just a Joker fest, and it's just like, all right, bro. Like we get it, bro. And it just, but I do want to pivot to the main topic. Uh,
Yeah, talk to me.
so we go. So this big talk about Miles Morales and the Spider-Man shit about casting and whatnot. And I'm seeing it swing to where they're saying that an African American solely can't play him on live screen, or it got to be Afro Latino, or whether he needs to what's more important to his lineage, Afro Latino or whatnot. And I figured we
hmm
could art we're in a unique position where we both can kind of give like both perspectives on it in one sense.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, salute, we both come from the island, but then, my father's African American and my mother was Puerto Rican, and you've been raised around Afro Latinos yourself, what I mean, growing up
hmm
in your family, you know how that shit go. And it's like, I wanted to get what your thoughts was on the discourse, and then I can give my, we could go from there on just the thoughts on
Yeah.
that.
So I think I think the discourse is taking a huge left turn that I wasn't expecting from certain communities. You feel me? It's reminding me a whole lot of the race swapping. Cosplayers can't cosplay certain characters because of the skin color of their skin.
Yeah,
It's giving me that vibe, and it's so very disappointing because when you leave New York, right? And this is something I had to realize when I first left. You understand that people don't necessarily understand that culture. You feel me?
yeah,
Like what became black culture throughout the rest of the country started in New York. Like it was culture between African Americans and Puerto Ricans. Why? Because they lived in the same neighborhoods because those were the only neighborhoods they were allowed to rent in.
right.
You feel me? So the culture's always been intertwined. So when it comes to the discourse on it, it's sad because does Miles Morales have to be played by an Afro Latino? No. African American can't play him if they do good. I mean, Jeffrey Wright played Peoples Hernandez in Shaft, and I didn't know he wasn't Dominican. I thought for years he was a Dominican actor, and that blew my mind back in the
Right.
day. Like it's possible. Don't get me wrong. I think what's being missing is that people are saying is the fact that it's not that it has to be, but somewhere along the lines in the creation of a live action Miles Morales, we need that Puerto Rican input. We know it's not going to be written by any Puerto Ricans or Afro Ricans. We know it's not going to be directed by any Afro Ricans.
Right.
At the very least, it should be representative. Have, Caleb McLaughlin is not a bad actor. Let's be real, he's a little older though.
if they're trying to go
I
for like fresh out the gate, Miles Morales, he'd be a little older now. Yeah,
facts. Yes, like I remember back when I went to film school back in the day and like before, they used to have open casting calls, right? They used to put an ad out like, "Hey, this movie is looking for new up and coming actors.
yeah,
If you want to give it a shot, you come through." That's how Hayden Christensen got Anakin Skywalker.
yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of them open. I did an open casting call in Savannah one time when I was in college. So
Yeah,
like
I
that,
remember when I
them
used to
shits just
do
be out.
martial arts competitions. I They had a Mortal Kombat movie
Oh
that
shit.
had an open casting call. I auditioned for it. When I was in film school, I used to audition for things left and right.
It'd be real. Like if you do good enough, your ass can get casted right off the street.
Hmm. I mean, I was known for a long time of trying to I was writing scripts, and I even ran into Josh Whedon one time on the J train
I mean, that's New York.
in New
Yeah,
York, and I
that's
was trying to
crazy.
picture him like, "Yo, we need Iron Fist in the MCU. We need Iron.
Nah,
I may be too dark to play Iron Fist, but you know what? There's
I'll play
other
fucking Iron
roles.
Fist.
I'll play Davos. Like, let's go.
I
Like,
won't be
you
son. Let
need
me throw
somebody to do
hands.
choreography? I'm there." And like a lot of times people don't realize like that's how we used to get the beginnings of new talent. You feel me?
Right,
It doesn't always have to be a big name. It doesn't always have to be a big name.
right.
But going back, I think that people are losing sight over the fact that we have been fighting so much for authenticity, for correct casting. Gina Torres has never played a
Enough.
Latina.
She never played an Afro Latino. No.
Never. And I think she's Puerto Rican. She's either
Uh,
Puerto Rican or Cuban.
yeah. I'm about to say she's a Puerto Rican. You know, a lot of them be like Afro Cuban, Afro.
Yeah.
They be like Afro. You know, Lupita
Hmm.
Nyong'o's slick. She's Mexican.
Oh yeah.
No, she's Afro
And
Mexican.
she
But
sneaks it right in there. Like it'll be out of nowhere and she'll be speaking fluent Spanish. I'm just like,
like she's Afro Mexican.
you
But
got it.
like, but
Yeah.
mind you, they cast her in nothing. She just plays pure Africans in movies. She's
Straight up.
Afro Mexican. Now I'm not sure about lineage
Yeah.
in terms of her parent, but like she was raised in Mexico. So
Yeah.
like by technicality, she's Afro Mexican. Just by she was
Hmm.
raised in that culture as an Afro Mexican. So like she's never been casted as an Afro Mexican. But I do want to I want to say this. As far as culture, um,
Yeah.
I would argue if you're saying in terms of what came from New York to the rest of the United States, that would be specifically hip hop culture, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because for black culture, the jazz, the swing, the funk, the disco, the movements before that were like those bricks before hip
Yeah.
hop came, that's a different thing. So
No, of course. It all builds upon itself.
yeah, yeah,
You
and
feel me?
I'll say that. But and even any distinction, I'm not getting into the hip hop thing of who started what. You know, I got
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, I always say the bricks, of course, started from black folk. Puerto
Oh,
Ricans were literally,
absolutely.
but the thing is where it gets weird, right? Because like I do agree in like the cultural exchange. The
Yeah.
issue comes when you have bad actors like because I feel that conflict started. I ain't trying to pivot too much, but I feel like that
Yeah, of
conflict
course.
started because Fat Joe made an out of line ass comment, and then because it was out of line, black folk in general got defensive, and we had to like,
Hmm.
hey, nigga, you getting comfortable,
Yeah.
and then for people who
Yeah.
Puerto Rican from New York specifically, they like, hey, now we was here in the beginning, and it's like now we're having an argument when it's like, bro, I don't think
Hmm.
anyone ever questioned who started what, but we don't have to take away the contributions to the culture that one
Yeah.
community brought to another to have that conversation. I feel like the conversation went left. Like like my mom's
Very
Puerto Rican.
quickly.
I was born in Puerto Rico. I was
Yeah.
born in La Pia, Puerto Rico. Like I moved in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I moved in Charlotte. So I root for the island in anything I do, but I'm
Hmm.
also my father's Black American. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't when I get in these conversations when it comes to Miles Morales of representation, to me, I never saw somebody who was a perfect representation of me. on the screen. I
Hmm.
just had a setup of someone that looked like me. I'm like, shit, they African, fuck it, they black. I mean, I'm
No,
cool
yeah,
with it.
honestly, and I
So
think I think that's the thing people are missing.
yeah, and that's for anybody. Like how many indigenous people have characters that look like them? How many
Hmm.
when we got Blue Beetle in DC, that was the first legitimate, unambiguously popular Latino character.
Oh yeah, it was unapologetically Mexican, like
Like
full on.
Miles Morales is half Irish and Mexican, but like to Latinos, that's the Latino Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
Spider-Man 2099 was the first Latino Spider-Man. Point
that
blank. Period.
close enough. Like it's like you took what you can get. You took what you can get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and that's not a fault on the people getting defensive for these characters. It's the fact that for a long time we was relying on people who are not representative of our communities to give us that representation in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
feel like we're the argument spilled out far too extreme. I don't want to get into that, but with Miles,
Yeah.
I think that's where the conversation got weird because I think at a point it's like, well, him being Latino has nothing to do with it. We're like, but his mama is Puerto Rican, dog. So
Hmm.
regardless of who plays him in the movie and what ethnicity they are, his
Yep.
mom is Puerto Rican. So he's going
And
to
she
have his
plays a huge part in his life.
that's his mom. Like
Yeah.
people forgetting the original run in Ultimate comic books, her dying was a big deal because of how close
Hmm.
him and his mom were. She dies at a point.
Yeah.
And it's just him and his dad afterwards. And his dad don't even fuck with him like that because he's Spider-Man. His mom's the one
Yeah.
who accepted him being Spider-Man. So his mother was always an important character. And I'm not, he was always raised Black American. He had a close relationship with his uncle. He's both. He's
Yeah.
not one or the other. That he's not, he wasn't raised
Yeah.
to be one or the other. He is a Black American man with a Puerto Rican mother. He is from both cultures. He is a
Hmm.
child of both cultures. So he's gonna speak Spanish when he's with his mama, or when he talks to somebody else in the neighborhood who's Spanish because he speaks it. But he is a
Yeah.
Black American, so even with the homies,
He's
he
not going to
don't
speak Spanish to everybody else.
like.
Like, come on.
But I think because Afro Latinos don't get that much representation in general,
No.
Afro Latinos specifically are like, come on, man, come on, man, give us something.
Mm.
And it's like, but for Black Americans, it's like, but we got British people playing us in movies. You got
Yeah.
goddamn Afro Latinos playing us in movies. Coleman Domingo, great actor. He plays Black Americans.
Fantastic.
Great actor. He plays a lot of Black Americans.
Yeah.
So
He's
I don't know. He's from Saint Dominic. He's from Saint Thomas. He's from some weird island. They try to argue if he's Latino or not. Sometimes this shit, I
Oh,
don't be
really?
liking that shit. Yeah, he is Afro Latino, but he's from like Saint Dumas, something like that. It's a
Yeah.
Spanish speaking place, so we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Coleman Domingo, he's Afro Latino, but he plays a man. And mind, I don't care, right? I'm like Idris Elba's British, but he's in The Wire.
Yeah.
And like it's nothing but New Yorkers playing Baltimore dudes in The Wire.
Yeah.
Like we've never. I think because we're so starved for entertainment that shows us.
We settle for whatever's thrown at us.
So it's like now it's like yo, we can get perfect, and that's why I feel comic books should be animated. They shouldn't be live action at all.
I think I think that we should have more animated movies for comic books. Like absolutely. Like if you turn around and like you had like an anime verse of the Marvel universe, it would go hard.
I mean, just pick a
If
popular run and make a series about it.
if you turn around and had like the same style that JJK has and threw that into the Marvel universe, they would eat it up.
Like they
Like
don't
that
understand,
attention to detail, they
bro.
would eat that up.
Bro, all they got to do is pick a popular run from any
Yeah.
comic book character. If you want to do Batman, you can go like DC's making a Nightfall. They're making a two-part
Hmm.
animated series. I'm like, y'all got confused and thought we wanted original stories from you motherfuckers. No, we
Nah.
wanted y'all to take popular runs and adapt them. They were
Yeah,
doing it at first. They were picking popular runs and adapting them, giving you like updated versions. It may not be
yeah.
the same, but for the most part, follows it, right? So
Hmm.
like it's like, oh, if you got the book, you could read this run. And so
Yeah,
I'm thinking they were gonna keep doing this, but they just started trying to keep giving us original stories, and we're not asking y'all for that shit.
yeah. I think a whole lot of disconnect happens because we got to admit something. These comic book companies get a whole lot of free advertising out of us. A whole lot of free advertising. People don't go to like Marvel.com to find out, oh, this movie's coming out. Let me find this character. No, they run into a comic head. I'm like, yo, what's good with this?
Yeah.
Like, it's us.
I mean,
It's us. And
but
like,
it's
I
not
just
leading
feel
people to read. People aren't reading books of us though.
they're not.
You
They're
know what I
not.
mean? Like, from manga is different. I saw a video about this, and that's why I feel like it should be animated because it's valid. Because it's a one
Hmm.
for one translation. So when I don't got any more episodes to watch, of course I'm gonna go read the manga.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you can read a video, but eventually, let me go buy that manga, man. That fight team was kind of crazy. So now,
Yeah.
because you already seen the anime, so you know how to imagine these fight scenes. And when you're reading it, manga fight scenes, reading them on paper is just as fun as watching it on TV.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
The
like,
detail that goes into them.
like Kagurabachi right now. If you've kept up with that manga, like how they're doing that shit, with how they're drawing the fight scenes and whatnot, I ain't gonna lie
Dude,
to you, bro. They're killing the
fire.
game right now, bro. Like
Fire. They pouring it in gasoline right now,
we
bro. They
we
killing it.
we thought that was gonna be like a gag, like "Oh, they're hyping this too much. It ain't. Nah, it lived up
Nah.
to all
They
hype.
delivered.
It delivered. The power
They
system, the
delivered.
swords, the fights, the character, like it's not just needlessly violent. I thought it was gonna be just he's violently killing. Nah, this is
Hmm.
these fight scenes are listen, bro. Like
Official. They
Kagurabachi,
official.
Kagurabachi getting anime and it's gonna fuck shit up. It's gonna fuck
Hell
shit up.
yeah.
Like Jujutsu Kaisen, I think Jujutsu Kaisen it should be an example to comic books that like, bro, we just want the comic and the show to be one
Translated.
and the same. Like we should have been got when Justice League fought Darkseid. That should have been
Oh,
animated by
hell yeah.
like a production IG or something. Like y'all are trying to spend your money on live action movies, and then now we're having cultural conversations about who should be playing these characters. When we
Hmm.
don't, bro, as long as he's animated to be Afro Latino in Spider-Verse, I don't give a fuck who voices Miles Morales.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Like, I like the Blue Beetle movie, but to me personally, an anime for Blue Beetle,
They could have done a lot.
and I've seen, because I watch different animation. I seen a few like Latin animes that's come out
Hmm.
recently, and I've seen one about like Mayans, and it was like another one where like they were like demon hunters and shit. But like common
Yeah.
denominator is like, bro, it's not the fact of representation. It's the fact of like we're going to comic books for that. If there's a manga from somebody from this area,
Check it out.
it, like
Check it out.
some of the main artists in DC, Jorge Jimenez and Dan Mora, they're kind of fucking the game up right now.
Yeah, they
Like,
really are.
like they're
Like
kind
it's
of fucking
insane.
they're kind of fucking the game up. No, we forget there's always a wave of everybody. There was the Filipino wave in the early 2000s. You had a wave of people like
Hmm.
Lead Killer and a few others who came with the brothers. And then right now, Dan Moore and Jimenez right now kind of they foot is on next right now
Yep.
in terms of comic artists. So like if we went to our communities for these stories, that's why like I feel like we gotta make our own shit for our own people because like I don't want to argue with white men about who's going to like properly represent Miles Morales
Yeah.
in a movie.
That's not. That's not their place. That's not. They wouldn't know anything about that.
That's not their conversation to have. I mean, at the end of the day, Miles Morales, I feel like to avoid that
What?
argument. What's wrong with the
Well,
spider? You said what?
no, I said, what was that IGN reviewer for the Miles Morales game? What he said with all the
The
exaggerated
exaggerated
swagger of a
swagger of a
black
black
teen.
teen. What the fuck does
Like,
that mean? Like he from like bro, he from Brooklyn for one, and I think that's another thing
bro.
because the way they write Spider-Man, I've had an issue with for years because like
Hmm.
they forget he was always an angry, smart ass kid from Queens.
People like, and that's something that like I always talk about is the fact that people don't realize how Spider-Man's humor and how he approaches his situations is very much New York coded. The way
Like
he talks, his mannerisms, it's very New York coded. His sarcasm,
he talks like in New
bro,
York,
you
like he's an
you could
asshole.
walk down the street and people are gonna flame you the way Spider-Man does. Like you can't even draw the line of, oh, did they grow up reading Spider-Man or was Spider-Man based off of people like that? Like,
Like he was a loner. He ain't really care for being friends with
mm-hmm,
too many people. He was a New Yorker, true and true,
facts.
and how he's written. I think when you see like Tom Holland with like he's always looking for like a daddy and shit. Peter was some knucklehead poor
Bro,
punk with no daddy, raised by his auntie and shit. Peter was
bro,
one step away from
Uncle
being
Ben
in.
died, changed his life. Like people forget, like Spider-Man was broke.
Like Peter was
Like when he
like
got his powers, he wasn't like, oh, with great power comes great responsibility. No, that happened after his uncle got shot.
he went to
Like,
get paid.
yo, that man went to go get money. He was like, oh nah, I can make a bag. And he went to go get that bag. Like,
Like he want him to get paid, like that, and I think that's lost when we look at Spider-Man. That like he was one step from being a fucking knucklehead on some
oh,
Yusuke
absolutely.
Urama, some Yusuke Urameshi shit. He was one
If
step
if
from being a
if
knucklehead.
if Uncle Ben didn't die, that man would have eventually been at least an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's gonna be a knucklehead. So then when he got his powers and he's like, doing the right thing. Yeah, he doing the right thing, but like, Peter's an asshole. Like
Oh
like
yeah.
like Peter can be an asshole sometimes, especially how he talks shit to people.
And he gonna whoop your ass anyway. He gonna
That,
talk shit because he gonna whoop your ass anyway.
bro, that shit used to be so funny, man. And so I think Spider-Man animated to me, I'm like, it just makes more sense.
Yeah,
Like, like,
absolutely.
like him swinging around, him fighting his villains, and then I'm like, you don't got to worry about causing these random explosions, fucking up our environment just for the sake of 5 seconds in some movie we ain't gonna watch for 3 times.
Yeah.
You could just have an animated, super cool Spider-Man scene. He could fight all his cool villains. It's like even these
Hmm.
video games cost $250 million, and it should be ass. Just give us
Yeah.
like an animated series that matches the comic book that we're reading for comic books. And Miles Morales can be voiced by anybody because as long as the comic, the movie has him speaking Spanish to his Spanish mama, I don't really
We
give a
gonna get it.
damn. Yeah, I don't care. I get the conversation. I just feel like the conversations get weird.
Yeah.
It's turning
Absolutely.
it's getting weird and turning into, well, him being Latino don't got nothing to do with nothing, but then like an Afro Latino could just say, well, he don't have to be Black American. We're like, bro, no, like every aspect of that man
No, it's true.
like makes
Like
Miles
I
Morales.
and it's wild because I identify with Miles like so much because I had that struggle like growing up. You feel me? Like, am I Puerto Rican? Am
He
I
American.
black? Am I white?
Yeah,
Like, I'm it. I'm all that. Like, you can't sit here and ask people to choose.
yeah, because I'm gonna be
You feel
treated
me?
like that. And that's the thing, because I think people don't get it when you're like in a Latin space, when you're non-white in a Latin space, because like
Hmm.
a lot of we can talk about it because like people be racist as hell. So like
Oh,
even if
absolutely.
you have some black in you and you're amongst like your more predominantly white family members, you will be treated distinctly like you are an other, even
Yep.
unconsciously. And that's just sometimes some family members be, hey, you family and you gonna treat you like love, but just like anywhere else. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I've always felt like when we had these convos, they just get to like they get to weird places. Um,
Yeah.
But
They
I've
get very territorial and combative.
yeah, and my thing is I have no choice but to be both. 'Cause at the end of the day, I love my mama. My mama didn't raise me to be, you know, anything else other than I'm black.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I went to Puerto Rico every summer. I saw my family, but I mean, my grandmother is black. So I
Hmm.
mean, so I came back to Charlotte or Georgia. I'm around. To me, I don't see no difference. Like I'm around black folk
Yeah.
all the time, any damn way. But when I have to explain myself to certain people, whether they are Latino, whether it's some black folk who question what I am and whatnot, I'm both. I can't be one or the other.
Yeah.
And like I'm both, whether I'm accepted by either or not. I'm gonna be both. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? I'm gonna
Exactly.
I'm gonna be stuck in this middle where I always have to like I always have to. Well, I don't do that shit no more. I don't give a fuck. I'm just Alan at this point. I don't fuck.
Yeah.
But like, you felt like you always had to justify yourself. Like you always had to justify whether I got to justify my blackness. I got to justify that. And mind you, I'm proud of both. Like I'm proud of the
Yeah.
island. Like if I see someone from PR, I'm off GP. You know how that shit go. Oh, he Puerto Rican. You rooting for him? Like Miguel Cotto, I was rooting for him. He Puerto Rican. It's just off
Yeah.
GP. Like you know how that shit goes. The Big Pun, one of my favorite
Um,
rappers like True Life. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I was a fan of these motherfuckers just off
So
principle.
how does that joke go? Like Puerto Ricans will watch a snail race as long as one of the snails is from Puerto Rico. Like we gonna rep it no matter what.
No matter what. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie about shit neither. Like yeah, hell yeah, I'm never gonna disregard one to be loyal to another because like at the end of the day, I feel
Hmm.
like I'm Black American. My father Black American. I grew up around Black Americans. Like everything,
Yeah.
my vernacular, how I speak, the music I liked into, like from even being a nerd, like realizing how much Black people were in comic books back in the day. All-Star
Yeah.
Negro League comic books, Lion Man came by like 50. Like I everything about me was ingrained from Black American culture. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the history. I can't disregard either or in this conversation. And it feels like in this conversation, it's forcing me to have to do so. So I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I can't choose. So I don't choose sides when it comes to that because I'm literally in the middle. Because then if I say, oh man, fuck that, man, fuck that, man, he don't gotta be Latino. I'm basically saying fuck my mom.
Yeah.
But
Now
if
you
I
can't do
say
that. He needs to be everything or none.
it's
You
everything or
feel
none.
me?
Just make him animated. The Spider-Verse movies
Yeah.
were perfect. They were perfect. His mama was in the movie. He'll talk to his mama. He had his daddy in the movie. You see, he loved his daddy. You see, his
Hmm.
mama was still there. He spoke a little Spanish to Miguel in the second one. You see how it just subtly shows you he's just both. The
Yeah.
dude who voiced him ain't Afro-Latino.
Nah.
He Black American.
Shamik Moore. Shamik Moore is straight up African American.
And
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 that's
and
cool.
as long as in the movie we acknowledge where he come from, which they do, I just don't understand, bro. Like I don't make him animated. Make them animated.
It feels like it's argument for argument's sake.
I mean, but that's what TikTok is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of these
There's
combos in comic books they're like that on purpose because like someone's gonna say something outlandish, someone else gonna respond with something equally outlandish. So now it's like, well, fuck y'all ain't did shit for the culture. What you mean? Like we did this for the culture? Nah, they ain't
yeah.
shit. That now we're in a bad headspace when it was always respect. It was supposed to be respect 150 because that's how you keep shit like this from happening. When now people are
Yeah.
like tearing at each other in terms of their contributions. Like I'm never gonna come to you and tell you
Hmm.
as a fan of hip hop like your opinion don't matter if you legitimately been into hip hop your whole life, following hip hop from from
Yeah.
from the 90s, the mid 2000s. I don't get to discredit your opinion solely off that. Now, if you just don't listen to shit, that's another story. But
Yeah.
if you're a true fan of this shit, then we're supposed to have a respect on that basis, and we can disagree on that basis as hip hop fans.
Yeah. Like, have you like case in point? Like you can have your preferences for people. You feel me? You absolutely can. But like, I'm gonna use this as an example. If all you listen to is Drake, you don't have a large scope as to what hip hop consists of.
Yeah, like if I ever hear a conversation when people say, "Man, there's no good hip hop outside," I don't listen to you anymore because I know you don't really listen to hip
No.
hop. There's always good hip hop out here.
Absolutely not.
Right. There's matter of fact, 2025 is one of the best years for hip hop.
Yeah.
Like some of the best albums came out. Like Freddie Gibbs dropped a great album. You know what I mean? Lloyd Banks dropped some
Yes.
good projects. You know what I mean? JID dropped a good project.
Clips.
Clips dropped a masterpiece. You know what I mean? I ain't a fan of Tyler. People say that.
I ain't never thought I'd see a hip hop artist performing at the Vatican.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, they did that shit. They did that shit. And that album fire. The raps was fire. The bars
Like
is
they came
fire.
a long way from us banging their beats on lunchroom tables to
But,
the Vatican.
but
Like,
I mean, LL Cool J dropped a good album.
yeah,
I mean, like,
one of the foundations.
but that's the point about it. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, bro, good hip hop gonna be good hip hop. I just think people don't really listen to hip hop. They let a few people tell them what's popular, and that dictates their opinion. It's a lot of DJ academic fans versus hip hop fans.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fans of a personality in hip hop. So what they think is fire, what they tell you is fire, that's generally your playlist. Like
yeah,
I would have never known who the fuck a Playboy Cardi, these little Uzis, Van Zerch, whatnot, if it wasn't for
yeah.
this nigga. This nigga brought them to the mainstream. I give him that. He
He was a publicist. He
a lot.
wasn't a DJ. That man was a publicist.
Yeah, about to say because a lot of these niggas, a lot of like if you want to talk about a new wave of rap, a lot of these niggas academics let in the door for better or for worse. These non-rapping vibes. I get the club lit ass niggas. He let a lot of them
Mhm.
in. He let a lot of them into the culture, and the Verts, the Uzis, the Zans, the Dirks. I mean the Chicago wave I fuck with a little bit because some of them was really rapping
Yeah.
Herbo and stuff. But then even still, like it just to make a long story short, man, like I think some of these things, as far as like comic books should be animated, I feel with hip hop, if you I don't even trust certain hip hop fans if they say, "Oh, I only like 90s music."
Oh no,
I don't trust you.
absolutely not.
Because
Like,
where's the early 2000s, man?
yeah, like me, I'm. I don't know if you call me a purist, but like, I fuck with lyrics. You know what I mean? Lyrically, you got to be nice.
Yeah, I
For me
need the
to rock with
bars.
you like that, I can listen to you if your shit's a bop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need the
But
bars.
lyrically, you got to be nice. Like bars got to be there.
Yeah, I
Like
need
I
the
like having to think about what was said and like have that like reverberate in my mind. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's a fact. Like I need the bars to be there, man. That's how I feel about that. And when
Yeah.
you have to close, I don't want to keep you, man. No, we've been ranting for a little second, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to close on a final little quick topic, man.
Hmm.
You told me before you was cooking up something, man. You ain't saying nothing about it, man. You know, you
Oh
think
yeah,
I
yeah. Hold on. Let me get some light over here. Hold on. So I got a couple of projects that I've been starting back up. First and foremost, I have a children's book that I'm trying to finish a couple of drafts on. A couple of
okay.
drafts, and it's titled "Am I Puerto Rican?" and it's basically inspired by a summer, like the first summer I ever went to the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Oh shit.
So it's like yeah, so like when I was a kid, I was really excited to like go. So I would go around to all of my family members and be like, "Hey, like, what do I need? I want to go to this." And back then, I got a whole lot of, "Oh, well, you're not full Puerto Rican. You don't count. There's no reason for you to go to that. You're not full." But growing up, my grandmother was always that driving force to keep me connected to the culture.
Yeah.
So it's basically a children's book chronicling that kind of like giving people something to relate to growing up in the diaspora, you know.
I fuck with that.
Um
Yeah.
so that's my like first and foremost project. My second one is I'm restarting a draft on a story that I started way back in the day called Seven. Um It's based in the Warring States period of Japan,
Mm,
14, 1500s, like during the reign of Nobunaga.
okay.
It's inspired by like a bunch of different resources like Onimusha, Bleach, Afro Samurai. Um, because
Only
I remember
bullshit.
back in the day, one of my best friend in high school, my boy Christian, we were like the resident hip hop heads back in the day.
Right.
My man, he was full into like the whole Afrocentrism of like coming off of like 90s hip hop. So he would come to school, he wear his whole dashiki. My man's had like the fro that was like out to here. And
Oh
that was
shit, man.
around the same time that Afro Samurai came out. So like I started doing research and I found out about Yasuke back then. And it kind of like a story that evolved. And I've worked on it throughout the years as like a fun project for myself. But I'm trying to get that off the ground right now.
Shit, man. That's dope shit. That's dope
Yes,
shit,
sir.
man. Hey, man, if you need my assistance on that front, man, I'm an
Oh, I'm
artist,
gonna, I'm
man.
gonna be collaborating with you, my guy.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? That's what the
Yeah.
Discord for. Say all the homies, man. I help out as much as I can. You know what I mean? Just looking out for the team
Hmm.
and shit. But man, just wanted to get a good convo with you, brother, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like what we touched on the topics and shit like that. I'm probably gonna try to do an episode more just on like comic books, like just like
Hmm.
sometime, like not every week, but like every other week, or just whenever I get free time to upload a new episode. But
Yeah.
you're always welcome to jump on the podcast, bro, man. If you want, you can close out. Just tell people to follow you and when they can see your upcoming story.
Yeah, absolutely. Most definitely throughout my social media, I am Nicky Wu. You can find me on TikTok, X, Blue Sky, um, IG, and then hopefully I'm able to get this children's story ready for an edit and possibly a presentation by maybe March or so.
Man, shit, just let me know, man, and then I'll promote it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'll share that shit, man. Just get that shit posted for me, man. And just
back.
I'll probably post this episode, the podcast, and another like whenever I get time. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be doing too much and shit, man. But
Well,
but
same.
shit,
That's been my struggle right now.
but shit, man, we definitely gonna tap in, man. I appreciate you, man, and just lock in on the Discord or whatever, man. I'll probably try to tell you next time I'm recording, brother.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man.